Welcome, college football fans. This weekend, we have a Gianni Gameday Double Header. At 2 o'clock, we have Davidson taking on two-time Pioneer Football League champions, University of San Diego. Then, at 7:30, to cap off the college football weekend, we have UNLV taking on San Diego State. Are you ready for a Gianni Gameday doubleheader with Gianni Football? Because I am. So get ready, because here comes the theme song. Gianni Gameday. This will be Gianni Football's first trip to an FCS school, and what better school to go to than University of San Diego Toreros. The Toreros are led by senior quarterback Anthony Lawrence. He is the all-time leading passer in Toreros history. He has 11,461 yards. Whew, that's a lot of numbers. Michael Bandy, wide receiver, is his #1 target. He leads the FCS in receiving yards this year, with 1,103. But Davidson is no slouch either. With first-year head coach Scott Abell, he's taking his shotgun triple threat option running game and he's shoving it down the FCS throats. The Wildcats are #1 in FCS in rushing yards per game, with 395.7 yards per game. With this newly found rushing attack, the Wildcats have broken NCAA and program records in rushing yards. And the Wildcats are off to their best start since 2006. Davidson running backs Wesley Duggar, Eli Turner, and James Story are going to have to come up big in this game. USD has been known to give up a lot of yards through the running game. They've given up 400 yards against Jacksonville a few weeks ago, and they gave up 5 rushing touchdowns against Harvard near the beginning of the season. Not to mention that Davidson has lost their last 3 games by only 7 points or less. And they're coming off a bye. University of San Diego is ranked 2nd in rush defense in the Pioneer Football League, but they haven't faced a rushing attack like Davidson this year. Now let's move a couple miles up the 80s freeway to break down the San Diego State versus UNLV football game. Star quarterback for the Rebels, Armani Rogers, injured his toe September 22nd in a game versus Arkansas State. He's ruled probable for this game, maybe even questionable. They're going to start Max Gilliam, who has started the last few games in place of Rogers. Be on the lookout for Rebels senior safety Dalton Baker. He's had 90 tackles this year, 46 solos. He is a playmaker for this Rebel defense. The Aztecs returned 4 offensive starters from injury last week in a game versus New Mexico, and boy did they need them. They were down 9 points in the 4th quarter, but they ended up overcoming that deficit to take home the victory. Those 4 offensive starters were wide receiver Ethan Dedu, fullback Isaac Lazard, starting quarterback Christian Chapman, and fantastic running back Jawan Washington. San Diego State ranks 10th nationally in total defense, giving up only 287 yards per game. That can be contributed by senior linebacker Kiava Tizino. In 4 games this year, he's had double-digit tackles, and he's never been penalized this season. One of the hidden gems of the Aztec team is place kicker John Barron II. Last week, he earned yet another Mountain West Player of the Week. John Barron II leads all active kickers in field goal percentage. He is also only one of 2 kickers in the nation to be perfect from over 50 yards this season. With most of San Diego State's games being decided by 7 points or less this season, John Barron II's performance has been pivotal in the Aztecs' success this season. Up next, my favorite segment, Know Your History, where I take a story from college football history and I relate it to the teams that I'm covering this week. The inaugural season for Davidson Football came in 1897. The Wildcats' first bowl game was in 1969 in the Tangerine Bowl. In one of the most crazy college football games probably ever, Davidson took on Guilford September 13th earlier this year to a score of 91-61. In that historic game, Davidson set a single game rushing record with 685 yards rushing. They also set a total offense record with 964 yards. Davidson set many other records that night. However, the NCAA doesn't recognize them because the two teams play in two different divisions. The inaugural season for USD football came in 1956. University of San Diego has won 10 conference championships in its history, 4 of them outright. And they've also won 7 consecutive Pioneer Football League championships, as well as 27 straight Pioneer Football League football games. Jim Harbaugh, the current Michigan football head coach, coached at UCSD from 2004 to 2006. He earned a record of 29-6, going 15-1 in Pioneer Football League play, and earned the school's first 2 conference championships in 05 and 06. The Toreros have qualified for 3 FCS playoffs, the first being in 2014. The last 2 seasons, they've won at least 1 game in the FCS playoffs before being eliminated in the tournament. UNLV used to be known as Nevada Southern University when they were trying to separate from Nevada Reno up north. In 1969, Nevada Southern University officially became UNLV. The school's football team celebrated its 50th anniversary this year, September 14th. In 1978, UNLV made the jump from Division II to Division I college football. UNLV's first conference championship came in 1984 when they were led by College Football Hall of Famer and NFL star Randall Cunningham. Unfortunately, due to the NCAA deeming players ineligible, all of their wins from that 1984 season, including their first bowl appearance, the California Bowl in Fresno against Toledo, vacated. That season would be their only 10-win season in program history. 2 San Diego State coaches have previous history with UNLV. Offensive coordinator Jeff Horton was the head coach for the Rebels from 1994 to 1998. He was also an assistant in 90 to 91. In 1994, Jeff Horton earned Big West Coach of the Year, earned a conference championship, and secured a Las Vegas Bowl trip for the Rebels. Also, wide receiver coach Hunky Cooper played for UNLV from 1990 to 1991. If you want to go with a little recent history, since 2010, SDSU has the 2nd highest winning percentage in the state of California, only trailing behind Stanford. And if you count the whole entire NCAA, since 2010, SDSU ranks 16th in winning percentage. Since the completion of the Mission Valley Stadium in 1967, the Aztecs have called it home for more than 50 years. But this past election Tuesday, San Diego citizens voted for Measure G, aka the SDSU West Initiative, which is set to provide the Aztecs with a western campus that'll include a riverwalk, faculty and housing units, hotels, stores, office spaces, and a 35,000-seat stadium for San Diego State that can be bumped up to 50,000 for an NFL or MLS team. Who's going to win, and by how much? No one knows! But don't worry, I'll give it my best shot for prediction time. First game of our doubleheader, Davidson versus USD, I think will be very high scoring. 2 very great offenses battling it out in San Diego, but I think that the Toreros will get the victory 38-30. And next up, our nightcap, UNLV taking on SDSU. UNLV without their star quarterback Armani Rogers, and San Diego State is finally getting back all of their offensive weapons from injury, so I think SDSU will get it together and win 28-10. I got 2 games, Rebels and Cats going way far from home. I got 2 games, 1 in the Valley, 1 with Toreros. I got San Diego on lock. Gianni Gameday is ready for its first ever doubleheader. Are you? Well, you better be, because here we come.
Take the ball, fumble. No.
Touchdown, Davidson.
Oh, shit.
Halftime update, Davidson is winning 38-35, and they went out to a commanding lead. They were up 31-7. They were absolutely killing it. That shotgun triple option game was absolutely gashing the Toreros for a while, but the Toreros started playing defense finally, and then Lawrence and number 5 Bandy, they started, you know, hooking up and started making some big plays, and they fought and clawed their way back. Very high scoring, not a lot of defense in this game, but Davidson is playing fantastic. You have to, you know, tip your cap to them, definitely, because they came prepared to play. Let's see if they can finish it off strong, see if they can, you know, pull off an upset.
Come on, dude, sack him.
Incomplete. The defense holds. First down, Toreros.
That's nice. Good way to come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, your final score of today's game, San Diego 56, Davidson 52. A special announcement: with this victory, your San Diego Toreros have clinched the 2018 Pioneer Football League title. Fans, let's hear it for your 2018 Pioneer Football League champion.
USD wins 56-52. There was some controversy in that win because Davidson was on the 1-yard line, and then Tyler Phelps, he had a quarterback sneak and he jumped into the end zone, fumbled the ball, and then another Davidson player got it and it ran in the end zone. And we thought it was a touchdown from there, but apparently not. In college football, the person who fumbles the ball has to advance the ball into the end zone in order for it to count. Another player can't pick it up and advance it. And then right from there, Anthony Lawrence threw a 99-yard touchdown pass to Michael Bandy, and that put the USD up. They came back from 31-7 to take home the victory, and not only that, they took home their 3rd straight PFL Conference Championship, and they guaranteed their spot in the FCS playoffs. USD never quit, but hey, once again, let's give a lot of respect to Davidson. They fought extremely hard. USD couldn't stop them. But in the second half, USD's defense really tightened up. It being my first Torero game and FCS game, what a fantastic experience. Now, I need to rest up, need to get prepared, need to put on some Aztec gear or something like that, because I got to go over to SDCCU Stadium to watch SDSU take on UNLV. And once again, congratulations to both teams.
Okay, it's time to guess the... Look! Go fast. Oh, flag.
Christian Chapman's pass is
intercepted by Dalton.
Halftime update, and SDSU is on top 14-13. However, UNLV has been playing very outstanding. They have stuffed the SDSU running game. They have less than like 50 yards rushing, which is incredible. UNLV jumped up to a 6-0 lead before Christopher Chapman threw a touchdown to Tim Wilson Jr. Tim Wilson Jr. has been doing outstanding, but Christopher Chapman, he was replaced by Ryan Agnew, and then right before half, SDSU punched it in with Jawan Washington touchdown on 4th and goal with 30 seconds left.
That's bad. Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final score, San Diego State 24, UNLV 27. November 24th for the Aztecs host Hawaii. It's their final home game of the regular season.
And that is a final 27-24. UNLV with the upset. UNLV scored, I believe, 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, and they made a 2-point conversion. To start the half, the Aztecs were on fire. They had a long pass to Tim Wilson Jr. to go ahead, and at the last play of the 3rd quarter, but then it was UNLV time. They had a touchdown pass to Presley, and then they converted the 2-point conversion, and then the Aztecs were just sloppy, and they gave up a 75-yard touchdown run to Lexington Thomas from UNLV, and that pretty much sealed it. SDSU had another shot to come back, then Agnew threw an interception to Jericho Flowers, and that pretty much sealed it. But it was a good game. It came down to last play, and it wraps up my Gianni Gameday Double Header. Next week, I'll be at the Battle for the Victory Bell, Battle for LA, UCLA versus USC next Saturday. I'm exhausted. I've been sick all week. I've been up since like 6 this morning, and it's like 10, 11 o'clock right now. But I've had such a great time in San Diego. What a time to be a college football fan, especially when you have doubleheaders like these. I will see you next week, and thank you all for watching. Peace.